Hey guys, what's up? MajesticGaming here, and Ubisoft just finished up their E3 2018 conference, and overall it was pretty solid. I was a little disappointed about a couple things. There were no real surprises. Overall, it wasn't bad or anything like I would say Square Enix's was, but there were no real surprises, and I definitely left a little disappointed. So let's just go ahead and start off right from the start. First, they started with, obviously, Just Dance, a musical number. We don't need to talk about that. Next, Beyond Good and Evil 2, they did a CG trailer which visually looked really great, and then Jade shows up at the end, and this is actually a prequel to the first Beyond Good and Evil. I've only played a little bit of that, but I still know who the main character was. And then we actually saw some gameplay which was like pre-alpha, and it kind of showed some stuff how you could seamlessly transition between flying and landing to fight, and that was cool. And then they did kind of this thing with like Hit Record where you can collaborate and post your own artwork and music and stuff to put in the game. So that's a cool idea, but I am a little disappointed that we didn't get a little bit more from the game. Obviously it's still in like a pre-alpha stage, so I assume we won't see this game for a long time. Still wish we got a little bit more, but it is something different I'm really excited about, and I think the collaboration thing where you can put your own stuff in the game is a cool concept. And we still have no obviously release date for the game. Like I said, it'll probably still be a while before it ends up releasing. Next, they moved on to Rainbow Six Siege, which I play Rainbow almost every day. I love that game. Pretty much all they mentioned was that there are 35 million players concurrently happening, which is awesome, and that the first Mindset documentary was going to come out, which is just a documentary about esports players in Rainbow. I don't really care about it that much, but it's worth acknowledging. Then they announced Trials Rising, which is a new Trials game. Obviously, Trials is the motorcycle game. It's around the world. It's more the same just for Trials. It's not really that much different. There will be a closed beta this year that you can register for now, and it will release in February of 2019 for Xbox One, PS4, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. It looks good enough. I like the Trials games. I don't like buy them off release or anything, but they're just like a fun time if you just want to waste time or whatever. I think they're fun enough. Next, they moved on to the Division 2. Now, the Division 2, they showed off a cinematic trailer, and they kind of went into some gameplay stuff. It was kind of boring though. I wasn't super into it. I don't really like the first Division that much. It just looks kind of bland. And they showed off a cinematic trailer, 3 specializations that you can choose between, each with different primary weapons, and they also announced what sounds kind of fun as raids with 8-player co-op. I think that sounds really promising, something that kind of sets this game apart from other games. It just seems kind of bland though, and they did mention that there are going to be years of free major content, and yeah, we got more gameplay. You can register for the beta, and this game will release on March 15th, 2019. Next, they announced that Donkey Kong will be coming to Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Don't really play that. I've heard it's great though. That's cool. That's happening on June 26th. Then something I'm actually pretty excited about is Skull and Bones. So Skull and Bones is Ubisoft's new IP. Pretty much it's just a spin-off of Black Flag, kind of emphasizing the pirate elements, and we got a cinematic trailer which I really enjoyed. It looked cool. It's going to be in the Indian Ocean, and it kind of take place in the shared world, and they actually showed us gameplay which allows you to like fight with others. You can't actually get out of your ship and like walk around and customize your ship. That was something I didn't know, but you will be able to customize your ship and your weapons, and the ship combat is obviously very inspired by Black Flag, just with more firing options, more weapons, more everything. I'm still not really sold that it for me will be worth $60. Inviting people to your party looks interesting. I'm just not really convinced that this will be enough of a experience for me to spend $60 on. Still want to see more though, and hopefully we will end up getting more information when the release date nears in 2019. Next, they talked about Transference, which is kind of like entering someone's consciousness. It's going to be first person, there's puzzles in it. They showed us like 2 trailers really. I still have no idea what the game is. It looks sort of interesting. It will be in VR and on normal platforms, and the game will release in fall of 2018. Not too much to say. I couldn't really tell anything about it from the trailers, but it looks fine. Then they move to Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is kind of like this weird Toys to Life type game. Not really Toys to Life, but it's basically going around to different planets, recruiting people. You have like real physical ships that you interact with in real life. It'll be interesting to see how they'll interact like with the controllers. I'm not super interested in it, but something that I did think was kind of cool for the people that are really into it is that Star Fox will be available exclusively on the Switch for that game. I think that's cool, and it will be releasing on October 16th of this year for all consoles, so that's cool if you're really into that. Then they moved to For Honor, which I played a little bit of when it first released. Didn't really like it, but they actually showed off For Honor, what they're calling Marching Fire, and it actually had a really cool trailer that I was really into. I thought it might be like a full-on sequel, but no, it was just a really cool trailer for an update that's going to feature 4 new fighters and a new faction. It seems cool if you're into that. It releases later this year. I'm not super into For Honor, but if you're into that, you can get excited for new content finally coming to that game. And the Crew 2 open beta they also announced will release on June 21st, but you can preload it starting today. And then we moved to really the meat of the conference, the only thing I was super excited about, which was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, obviously Ubisoft after leaks announced it a couple weeks ago, and we got a cool first look. The story seems interesting. It has 2 main characters that you can choose between, which are going to be Alexios and Cassandra, and they basically are like, I believe, siblings. They're both descended from like this super popular figure, and they have this like spear that they both can use, and there's different dialogue options. You can form your own story, and a lot of the story just seems to be kind of built around this idea of choice and you choosing different options. There's a full-on like dialogue tree now. I think that's really cool, and pretty much the entire thing just looks very, very similar to Origins. The naval combat looks incredibly similar, even though we didn't really see any actual gameplay. The UI and a lot of the gameplay just overall seems very similar to Origins. They have like a similar UI, they have similar, like, you have the eagle vision again with an eagle, the whole combat system, the parrying, the dodge, just everything, just pretty much everything just looks exactly like a carbon copy of Origins. In fact, if you were just looking at it, like, not really knowing anything, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, anyone just thought, oh, hey, that's like an add-on for Origins, because that's pretty much just what it looks like. So that disappointed me a little bit, kind of what I was expecting going back to the yearly releases. Whatever, I'm a little disappointed just because Origins was such a fresh breath of fresh air. Either way, though, they also showed some stuff where you can, like, disguise and sneak into camps. I think that's kind of cool. They showed a large beach battle, which I think is something we could always use more of in the Assassin's Creed series, and they also showed a Minotaur at the end, so that'll be fun to fight against. The game releases on October 5th, 2018, and that was about it for Ubisoft's conference. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I just got a little bored at some points, though. There weren't really any real surprises. I kept waiting for Splinter Cell. I kept waiting for Watch Dogs 3. Just really anything else to surprise me. There was absolutely nothing I was surprised by. Not complaining. Like, the stuff they showed looked solid. Assassin's Creed I'm excited for, and the games they showed looked like they were solid enough games. They're games that exist and that are happening. There was just nothing that really surprised me, and especially after yesterday where it was just full of surprises non-stop, that was a little disappointing. So overall, today hasn't been great with Square Enix and Ubisoft. Ubisoft was fine. We have Sony to look forward to next, and that will be my last E3 video for this year, so stay tuned for that, and tell me what you guys thought about Ubisoft's conference this year. Did you guys enjoy the games that we did see, and had you wished we had seen more? Alright guys, thank you for watching. Majestic Gaming.